Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. So if you've been following my videos, you probably have noticed that I started doing a few videos that are specifically addressed towards men and not towards women. Now, normally my stuff, my content is pretty universal, right? Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, you can apply this stuff to career, entrepreneurship, life, fitness, right? To your life, but I started doing a few videos that are targeted specifically towards guys here. So you can check out this video here. This is probably the best one. I did a video on sort of smirking. It's kind of a follow-up, but in that video I talk about like why I'm doing this. So I'm not going to go into the total like from the guy perspective why I'm doing this, but I'm actually right now I want to talk to the women, you women out there that are potentially watching these videos. I know it's not the majority of you, but I got an email from a woman who's watching these videos, and she was a little bit concerned about why am I doing what I'm doing. So I want to talk a little bit about what kind of my philosophy is and what my thoughts are. And you don't have to agree with me, but this is what I think, and I'm going to tell you here, and I want to kind of tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing and what I think is actually a really good solution to a problem that we do face in the tech industry. So I mean, this applies to guys and girls here, right? Men and women. But I want to address this here. So I'm going to actually read the email. This is probably going to be a longer video because I want to make sure that I actually do address this in depth. I already did a video on this, but I decided to delete it because I want to go more in depth with this. So anyway, so I got this email from, and it says, hi John, just found your YouTube channel a few weeks ago. I enjoy your videos and have looked at a bunch of the backlog. However, I'm having a hard time understanding why you keep separating women, programmers / audience. You keep mentioning men, males, but all your advice so far applies equally to both. Yes, it's not a fair world, and there are many prejudices out there. It's just strange that you keep targeting men. So what that your trackers have told you that the vast majority of your target is males? At best, you're leaving money on the table. At worst, you're alienating a portion of your audience and destroying your message. By the way, maybe female tech audience is a lot more privacy conscious because of exactly this type of attitude. Seems like 100% requirement if you're an IT girl to be extra careful, super, especially on YouTube. Yep, I totally agree with that. If you really believe that women belong in the kitchen, should be subservient to men, that's what it sounds like / implied every time you make the distinction. I don't know you, but that's the impression when you go out of your way to target males. Yes, a woman staring down strangers might get attacked, but that same crazy person would attack a guy staring them down. She needs the skills to find a good workplace just as much as anyone, and confidence is part of that. Maybe the takeaway is that if it's not applicable to a professional that happens to be female, you need to rethink / refocus the idea. Why was your talk on respect targeted towards men? Because that's the only thing that comes to, are you talking about caveman times? Because that's the only thing that comes to mind when you make that distinction. It sounds immature / unprofessional to me. I'm not young. It's distracted from your not unreasonable and useful message. In the few episodes when you make these distinctions, it seems like you don't consider females as equals, not professional, cool, right? However you look at it. I'm only writing this because I really enjoy your channel, and I'm not sure you're aware of what impression you're leaving. Your thoughtful videos give me the impression that you are too focused on a business goal and missing the big picture on how you're finding a niche. Are you sure your current actions match your long-term goals? So definitely keeping this anonymous. I mean, it came anonymous, but I want to talk about a bunch of things in this, and I'm just going to kind of summarize my viewpoint here and why I'm doing this. So again, this is for you women out there that are watching my videos, this is what I'm doing. So first of all, I believe that there is a difference between men and women. I know that in the tech field, see, here's the thing. I believe that a lot of women in the tech field are being forced to act like men. And it's true that, in the business world, the more masculine type of quality of, going out and taking charge and getting things done is more required. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But oftentimes, a lot of women in the tech field can feel out of place because they're kind of being forced to act more like men. There's nothing wrong with being a woman, a strong woman, a feminine woman. That's great. It's something that is highly valued, that I think society does not place enough value on today, and it doesn't preclude someone from doing a job, from being a programmer, from being in the tech field. They can still be feminine, be in touch with that side of them. Now, you might not care about that, but that's fine. But I know that there is a distinction, right? And I believe very firmly that there is a distinction between men and women, and that there is a distinction between whether you're, I mean, even if you're, gay, bisexual, whatever, there's a masculine energy and there's a female energy. You can see that in all relationships that are successful, that does exist. And when we ignore that, we have problems, right? And so it's really important that we actually understand these differences. Now, I'm a guy, I'm a man, I'm talking from a man's perspective. Yes, there are a lot of guys that are following this channel, that are young guys especially, that, again, I don't mean to offend any of you out there, but honestly, quite honestly, you're boys. You need to learn how to be men. I had to learn how to be a man. I'm still learning. It's a daily process, right? But I'm trying to offer some guidance because, and there's some reasons for this specifically I'll get into, but before I get into those reasons, I do want to talk about the distinction, that there is absolutely a distinction. One of the problems that I believe that we have with society today is that we don't make this distinction between the masculine and feminine, between men and women. And because of that, we end up with a lot of messed up relationships, a lot of unfulfilled desires on both sides. And we get, I'll be totally honest with you, we get a lot of men that don't act like men. They act like little pussies. And I know that's going to offend some people, but it is the honest truth, right? And because it's not taught, it's not valued. At the same time, we get a lot of women that are forced into a role or personality that is not what they are naturally. That things, that we consider, feminine, that we say, oh, those are petty, or those aren't important. There's two sides of it. Both are valuable. Now, when you say equal, that's a funny word because I don't use the word equal. I hate the word equal, and I'll tell you why. Because it's not the same. Equal implies the same, right? When two things are equal, that means they're the same. Men and women are not the same. Come on here. Now, and we talk about caveman days, right? Here's the other thing, let's go back in time and let's talk about caveman days, because if you believe in evolution, whether you do or not, it hasn't been that long time. It hasn't been that long since caveman days. So our brains have not changed. We have not evolved. Even if you believe in microevolution and not macroevolution, there's not enough time for change. We are basically the same, wired in our brains as the caveman days. So those deep primal urges, those primal instincts, they exist. We have to understand those and play to those. And if we try to ignore those, we try to think that just because we wear a suit and tie, we're civilized, that's bull. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. Society doesn't work that way. We have a lot of problems today because we are emasculating men, and we are stigmatizing true feminism, true womanhood, true female aura, right? We are doing that, and we're trying to neutralize both and make them equal in that respect. There's a lot of problems with doing that. I'm not going to go so far into depth, but I want to talk about the tech industry now, specifically about a problem that we have, which was definitely brought up in this email. So again, I said this is going to be a long video. It is going to be a long video because I want to do this justice. I want to really clarify where I'm at here so that you understand. And if you want to unsubscribe, go ahead. You can unsubscribe. You don't have to watch these videos, but I'm not going to be apologetic about this. This is what I believe. You can disagree with me, totally fine. I appreciate dissent, but this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm about. So anyway, in the tech industry, I believe that we do have a problem where guys do harass women. I've seen it firsthand, right? I've worked with women. My wife was in the tech industry. I helped her, with her career, and we were both, before she quit, and now she's staying home. She's raising my daughter, and she helps me with a lot of the business stuff. But I have experienced, I've seen it firsthand. I've seen the harassment. I did a podcast, Get Up and Code. You can check it out here. But anyway, my co-host for that podcast was Iris Klasan, and I seen the kind of crap that she went through. It's definitely real. I know that it's real. But here's the thing. I don't think the solution, well, I'm going to tell you what the problem is, and then I'm going to tell you what the solution is, or what I think the solution is. I don't think the solution is just shaming people and saying, oh, this is wrong and this needs to stop. It doesn't happen that way. That when you tell people that they're bad and wrong, they get more ingrained in their beliefs. So if you have macho, chauvinist, sexist guys that are harassing women, and you tell them, stop doing that, it's wrong, they get resentful and they just do it more, or they do it secretly, or they do it more anonymously. That just riles them up. Here's the core of the problem. This is why, for you women listening to this, I'm going to tell you why guys do this. Right? I don't think anyone else is saying this, but I will tell you why. It's because this is what happens, okay? In the male psyche of the boy psyche, the immature man psyche, is they say, gosh, let's see, this woman, I can't get any girls. These girls, they keep on going after these guys that are jerks, and I'm so nice, and I would take care of her, and I would do all these things for her, and I would do anything for a woman, and they don't appreciate me, and look at her, and they get frustrated, they get mad, and they don't understand why they can't get what they want, why that the jerks get the girls, right? They don't understand that it's not about being a jerk, it's about having self-respect and confidence. They don't understand that the reason why the jerk gets the girl is because he has confidence and self-respect, not because he's actually a jerk, right? Not because of that behavior. So what do they do? They resent. They focus their aggression and their hate towards women, right? Especially in the tech industry, it's like sour grapes. I can't have this, so I hate this. So I'm going to attack this. I'm going to make it seem less. I'm going to destroy this. They're channeling their aggression. What it is it's cowardice, okay? And that's why we have this problem. It's because of guys, immature guys who are cowards, honestly, getting frustrated because they can't get what they want out of life, because they don't understand how to interact with women, how to be a man. Now, here's the thing. Here's the solution for this problem, right? Like I said, it's not shaming people. It's not telling them they're bad and wrong. It's calling them to a higher purpose. It's teaching them how to be a man, how to represent those values, how to be confident, how to be strong, how to handle themselves with women so that they don't channel that aggression towards women. That's the coward way. It's not about channeling that aggression. They have to channel that aggression somewhere. Somewhere, in the masculine form, in the masculine mentality, there is aggression. Let's not be dumb about this. This is definitely a part of being a man, but that has to be channeled in the right way. So what am I doing here? How am I helping this cause? When I'm making these videos, when I'm targeting guys, when I'm trying to help them to build up the confidence, to be able to understand how to operate with women, how to get a woman to be genuinely interested in them without tricks and stuff like that, by building their actual self-confidence, by actually learning how to gain respect in the correct way, not in the macho chauvinist way, but having an authentic purpose and drive that is going to naturally attract women by developing those traits, that self-confidence. That changes the picture, because a guy that is confident in himself, that has that self-confidence, that has those attributes, that knows that he is attractive to women because it's what he is, because he's being a man, he's stepping into his role, he's called to that higher purpose. He's not going to harass women. He's not going to do the cowardly thing and do the type of things that we see in the tech field. So that's what, that's where I'm coming from with this. I know this is long and whatnot, but I want you to understand that this is an important problem that has to be addressed, and that this is how I'm going to address this. Whether you like it or not, this is reality. This is the world that we live in. Now, can I give some specific advice to women? Probably not. I may call in some experts and do some interviews and try to help in that area. Maybe I can offer a little bit. I'll have to think on this a little bit to see if there's something. I'm a man. I come from a man's perspective. I can help in that area, but I might not have as much, to authentically offer from a just woman's perspective, right? I can tell you this. I can say this to you women that are listening, that are watching the videos. Don't be afraid to be a woman in the tech field, and you shouldn't have to be, right? And that's, you don't have to compartmentalize yourself and to hide and to feel like it's wrong to express that side of it. Part of, I think, where we want to go, right, with this field is that right now, I'll be totally honest, right? Software development, right now, this field, technology, is sort of a man's field, right? It's sort of, right, the atmosphere, the offices, the way you operate is sort of in a, quote, man's world, but it doesn't have to be that way, right? And that's not, part of the way that changes isn't just by guys growing up and being men. It also is women feeling comfortable to express themselves as women and to be women in that environment as well. So I think there's definitely things to work on both parts. I'm going to do my part to help what I can. And like I said, my audience is primarily guys, right? And it's primarily young guys. And so, in a position of being a mentor to a lot of them, I'm going to help in the way that I can best. And I know that a lot of their problems stems from this frustration. So if I can help them with this frustration, it's going to be better for everyone. So anyway, that's it. I really appreciate this email. Again, I'm not going to say who it is, anonymous, and well, it was sent to me anonymously. So there's really no identifying features in this. I think I've covered pretty much everything here. And I think that makes sense. I do want to say one other thing here, which is, if I do video that is specifically targeted towards guys, that doesn't mean that as a woman you can't get something out of it. I mean, okay, here's the other thing to this, right? We're, as balanced people, we have a masculine and a feminine side, right? We don't always operate just as guys, as man, right? I mean, this communication, right? This is sort of, what I'm doing, helping people through YouTube, right? That's sort of a feminine aspect, right? I'll be comfortable in saying that. We have to have some balance, right? We might have a core where we operate from, where our energy comes from, but we have to learn that balance. So the reason why I'm saying that is because even if I create videos that are specifically targeted towards guys, that doesn't mean that some of that advice doesn't apply to a woman as well. Now, obviously, for doing the things that I'm telling guys that are going to help them to be attractive to women, it's probably not going to work for a woman to be attractive to a man. They're polar opposites, right? But some of the things like to develop self-confidence or respect, that's going to apply generally, right? And here's another thing with the respect thing. Again, we're going on long, but I think this is still worth addressing here. So let's talk about the respect thing here. So one of the highest attributes, like the qualities that guys want, is respect. That's why I addressed that video, and some of these things are going to be specifically addressed to men, is because men want respect. This is something that is, as probably women probably don't understand this aspect. You don't have to. There's going to be a whole lot of stuff that guys, don't understand about women, and women don't understand about men, and they're not going to ever really understand, but you just have to know it. And I'll tell you, women, that every guy that's watching this video is nodding their head right now when I'm saying that respect is probably like at the very top of the list. It's one of the top things, and for married women, married guys out there, I'll tell you that probably the top priority of any married guy is that his wife is happy. That's probably the very top, which is probably something that you didn't know there. I think on the woman's side, I would say that probably one of the top priorities, like as far as like for guys in a relationship, would be respect, right? But women want to be desired. A lot of men don't understand that, right? Women want to be desired deeply, to be very much desired. And that is something that it really lights up a woman, right? So Again, lots of differences here, right? Lots of reasons why I'm going to be talking about these topics. And this is not an area that I'm treading into lightly here, right? This is something that I've avoided. I didn't want to talk about this. I don't like the whole political correctness, and the problems that opening up this floodgate is going to open. But you know what? In my heart of hearts, honestly, I'm not going to be able to help as much as I can and to be giving the best advice I can if I don't go this place. So I'm navigating these waters. We're navigating these waters together. If you want to join me on this journey and you're willing to take some of the bumps along the road and realize that I'm not a perfect person. I'm going to screw up. I'm not going to perfectly dole out this advice, but I am trying to help. And whether you agree with me or not, I'm going to grow and I'm going to learn, and I've been growing and I've been learning. And if I can facilitate that process for all of you that are watching these videos, then great. So anyway, that's it. That's all I have to say about that. And hopefully that clarifies things and answers some questions. Again, this is a fairly long video, but I think that this, a topic like this, it's worth taking the time. I'm not going to go here again. If people have questions about this, I'm going to point them to this video. But I'm going to go on, right? And I'm going to do what I think is right, regardless of what anyone else thinks. I'm happy to address your questions. I'm happy to address your concerns, and I appreciate them. But I am going to do what I think is right. And I feel like this course is right, so I'm going to do it. So anyway, if you like this video, if you want more of these videos, definitely subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.